Boy, I know I'm gonna catch a lot of hatred. Probably not. I'm not that big of a channel. Put the old cigar in the mouth, the old cigar root, remembering you. What's up, Lion? 917. Man. Some people say, Charles, what do you got on your chest? I said it S, God damn it. Got to get something off my chest. Um, the funniest part about Louise Cognor, how you doing? Wee wee. Is since I know BGS usually takes up the afternoon or the early evening. Since he's not up, I might as well take over myself. Just in a Murray stream, lol. That motherfucker still streaming? Shit. He must be under a new name or something. Oh man, how y'all doing? See, I'm not even gonna play music today, unless people want me to. But what's very funny about dating educated women are a few tropes. One, they think they're the smartest people in the room. And they're shocked and miserably appalled when they find out they're not. And it's not even trying to break their hearts. It's not even trying to disenfranchise them. It's the fact that you can't be upset if a person spent years doing something in reality that you may not have any knowledge about. It's just what it is. You can't get upset with that. You cannot get upset with that. Donnie Mac. What up, bro? It's one of those things when you talk about bad product. It really is. It's it's not a good thing. You never hear anybody say, I want my wife to have a PhD. And when they get the education, it's not because they want to teach their children benefits of society. No, I want to get the bag. All this goddamn selfishness. I want to get the bag. They're not even really that smart when it comes to their profession. Look at Fanny. You got a goddamn JD and you get caught up with that bullshit. If you would have stepped down, you never would have got your business told about you. Hmm. I beg to differ with that one. I strongly beg to differ. I'm sorry. For those of you who watch me, how many educated women did I have on my channel? Personally. Personally. For those who watch me for over 2 years or more, how many educated women did I have on my channel? Did any of them outsmart me? Were there any that made me feel stupid? That just left me baffled? I'll just wait. I will wait for your answer. Because we all know good and goddamn well it's not about education, it's about indoctrination. Very few of these chicks are truly intellectual. Very true. Very few of them. You don't even want to spend the time to teach your kids. You don't want to educate your children. But you got the audacity to say you're educated? I got a problem with that. Well, I'm so busy. You're selfish. The more educated you usually find, the more selfish. It's usually going to be a bad deal because how many of those women are going to say, "I'm going to help provide a legacy for our family"? How many? How many? I'm going to do everything I can to support my man. It's always you got to come with the bag. Why can't we go on this trip? Why can't we go to this restaurant? Why? And it's worse when you have a 91 climber, 92 climber. Horrific. Especially if she's from the hood, never had shit, never had a damn thing in her life. All of a sudden now she wants to be bougie. They want to live in the hills. They want a $2,000, $3,000 a month condo. All it is just an extra bill. They don't care because they never had to put their ass on the line. They don't put their money down. And some of the biggest simps you'll find are older guys, man. Some of the biggest simps you'll find are older men. I'm a trick on this woman. See, you gotta be able to take care of a woman. Knowing goddamn well she would not be with your crusty ass, and she's probably sleeping with the real nigga she really want to be with, but that nigga can't provide that life. No, I did not see that junk. I'm gonna warn y'all. I don't pay a lot of these dizzy bitches any mind. I'm too busy. I'm trying to build more contracts for my goddamn business, man. Nobody wants to look at this shit. Nobody, not one time do you hear an educated woman say what she'll do for the man of her dreams. It's always what she thinks she deserves. You got a PhD, but your kid can't read. It's very few manosphere content. There's even very few times I'll even listen to other manosphere content. It's I deserve, I wish, I. But then I single, I don't need a man. Pick a struggle. Which one is it? You want the man or you don't want him? Or you just want the resources? What is it? I've dated lots of these chicks. They think they're smarter, they think they're better, and they wonder why they're a bad product. They're a bad deal. Nobody likes you. It becomes very plain to see. Nobody likes you. I. You have no attributes that a man desires. My perfect resume, as Mel mentioned, is it perfect to you or is it perfect to the buyer? You can't convince me that a beat up old hoopty is worth $50,000 if I'm the one who's buying. And see, that's how that's how rudimentary their thought process is. Very rudimentary. You don't even have a common decency to figure out what you could do to get your man, what he likes, what are his aspirations. Nope, nope, not even a one. And you know what the real pathetic part about it is? A lot of you women could have had your husbands when you were in college, but what do you do? What do you do? You date the drug dealers, the guys you claim are the Pookies and Ray Rays. That's why you always see the babies they have. That's why if you see a 92, majority of them secretly don't want to tell you that they're lusting for the guys that they claim they don't want. But then when they're lonely and 40 and usually fat, the big faces, when those chicks look like Ben Franklin, they get those big faces and big waists. When they're 25 and got kids that look like a United Nations meeting every time they go to the dinner table. Got more fathers than the Catholic Church. What's up, Toya? I think it's hilarious. I truly do. All of a sudden now you were told to be independent. I don't need a man. Don't need a nigga. But something called inflation in the economy showed you otherwise. People say, well, you're just hating on these women being so educated. Now, one of these bitches made more money than me, so that don't matter. That doesn't matter. How many people do you listen to on a regular basis decipher that the fact that I don't care how educated, I don't care how much poise, how fancy, whatever they think they are, they still think they're better than you. I just want to know this one question. Why should a man take that bad deal? You're getting the most selfish creature known to God. You're not getting much out of it. What are you going to get? A bunch of ulcers, headaches, trying to work. I want a woman who's this, that, and the fourth. You don't want these type of women, man, because these are the type of women that will openly disrespect you, and you're not even smart enough to take it. Have you ever heard of a man say, I want to be in a power couple"? The fuck's a power couple? A power couple. You never hear a man say that. It's always their dreams. They don't want to be living a happy, simple life. That's foreign to them, even though they're broke. Even though they have debt up to their necks. I want to equal my partner. You're not. If a woman calls me a partner, we're gonna fight. I'm gonna ask you, are you gay? And a lot of times, I really do think they have the ideology of gay men. My partner, my life partner over here. They don't want to be a wife. They want to be a partner. I remember watching that clip of Kevin Samuels, right? Kevin Samuels, where he talked to the 24-year-old chick who said, "Why can't black men? Well, the black woman doesn't respect you because you got to build with." And he says, clip it. That's how y'all really think about us. You really think about us like that. You need to build businesses. I'll ask every educated woman this question: Was it a requirement for your grandmother to get a business out of your grandfather? Was that required? Huh? Was it? Your grandmother is living much happier than you. She didn't have to require your grandfather to make six figures, own a business, be a power couple. I want a woman to take out a resume and say, these are my attributes towards men. I don't think they could do it. What is your record when it comes to serving men? What is your record? How much do you go to the gym? Can you cook? How do you feel about children? Do you think it's important for children to be educated? Are you willing to educate these children? Well, I was always told not to trust a man. Then why should a man trust you? Why should that same man trust you? You don't want to grow with the man. The man has to be already made. He's got to make all this money. Why would a man of any type of worth, why would he want to be around you? What does he get out the deal? What does he get out the deal? What the hell does he get out the deal? Not one time. And the particulars on this is so staggering that women don't even understand how to be a proper partner. Excuse me. Not even a proper partner. They don't want to take on partnership. They want to take on all of what? Things they could reap, the resources they could take. They don't really care to share. Because if the man pays all the bills, what the fuck does she do with her money? They never talk about how they're going to invest their money into the family, how they're going to invest their money into you. You want us to take a bad deal. Why should we? Why shouldn't men just leave you alone? You go and those same guys you said that are unattractive, you talk about how they're weak, they're pathetic. That's cool. Why do you care if brothers are passport bros? Why do you? Why do you care brothers meet women from other races or cultures, black or white? What is it to you? Hmm. I want you to look at this, folks. I want you to look at the viewer count. This is how you know you're shadow banned like hell. 19 people, 4,000 subs. Make that shit make sense. Make it make sense to me, folks. You see something I don't see? 4,030 subscribers. Do I have to be like a lot of the fake ass people? I'm not part of the manosphere. I'm not part of the black manosphere. Do I got to be one of those people? But back to the subject matter. When is it? When does it benefit a man to have a highly degreed woman when a lot of times it's just a bad deal? Unless you're in politics, it's not really a good deal. Rob Marsh, long time no see. Unless you're in politics, unless that person has a specific thing that he needs from his wife, it's not a good deal. Especially when majority of women have degrees in non-essential fields. I can understand if the chick had a degree in robotics. Some high level mathematics, arithmetic, or something. What the fuck are we gonna do with your psychology degree? And then here's the crazy part. Many of times, we're the ones helping paying off your goddamn debt when we meet you. We don't even get respect for that. We don't even get respect for that. What's up, LAPD SWAT? I'm just taking a logical perspective. Why? Why should we take a bad deal from a woman who doesn't have any respect for you? A woman who has no experience, knowledge, nor desire to serve a man. You hear what King Cooper, aka Bowser, thinks with her degree, and other people like him. They'll come after the black manosphere, but they won't say anything about the white. It's okay for Tasha K to get married to a foreign, non-EDOS black man. The black man, don't you do it. Don't you go find your happiness. Don't you go find anybody that's gonna bring you some worth. That's gonna take care of your kids, respect you like a man. Hey Maggie, how you doing? I feel like I made it. Maggie's here. I feel honored. Maggie knows who I am. But I tell men this all the time. Why are we forced to take the bad deal? And I'm not saying go out there and pick women of less intelligence. Yes, I like a woman who can actually converse with me about many different subject matters. But that's the danger zone that too many of them don't. They they don't even know how a man needs to feel wanted and needed. He has to be useful. And what you realize is the more you say to yourself, I don't need a man, the more you're making it a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're gonna become male repellent. Yeah, think about it. She was blessed to meet a man like that. But how many of these women are gonna say this in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years? And shout out to Bay, Bit of Truth, when I was on his show Monday. How many of these migrants and how many dangerous people are being let into this country? Hell, we don't even have to go into the migrants. How many dangerous motherfuckers are in this country right now? But you don't need a man. The world needs a Superman, believe it or not. Your degree is not going to protect you. Your degree is not going to go out there and make money while you're sitting home pregnant. Your degree is not going to fix the pipes, spackle the wall, comfort you in your time of need and loss. Your degree is supposed to be a benefit for your people, not just yourself. Don't forget to hit that cash app. Your degree is supposed to be the equivalent of a black belt of martial arts. Your black belt does not necessarily mean mastery. Your black belt means now you're ready to take the journey solo. Okay? Because if you're an intellectual, for all my degree people, you're never supposed to stop researching and learning. It's not a point of intellect, it's a point of ultimate learning. You learn that you know absolutely nothing in this universe. You learn to research and accept. It's not the end all. Anytime a woman brags about her education, you're just trying to cover up all the things you lack. Usually it's civility, usually it's kindness. But no, but I don't, but I got a degree. Okay. You got a degree. That's good. What does that serve me? How are you going to use that degree to help our family? Uh, Even deodorant got degrees. Shit. Thank you, Maggie. Degrees mean a person is good at school, nothing more. Educating yourself is a true sign of an intellect. Think about this. When you're into martial arts or combat sports, there's no belt system in wrestling, but there are levels to this shit. I don't think you are a great wrestler until you're able to coach because it makes you become a perfectionist. It forces you to be able to translate things that you do from muscle memory into thought, into speech, which for a lot of people is extremely difficult to do. And martial arts, your black belt, is not just a mastery. It's really it's really the ability to go through discovery. King said, notice women are requiring to work even harder. That's why they're hooked on meds and alcohol. They can't even handle the work environment like they thought they would, and only a few of them got desk jobs. It's like law enforcement. You can't be a good cop, in my professional opinion, if you haven't been through some shit. If you're a desk jockey and you get promoted to sergeant, lieutenant, and you get a three person shooting homicide, meaning you have three people shot, one died. That is very stressful, especially when you have to contact the higher ups. You have to figure out the crime scene because your crime scene can be 2 blocks long. Hell, your crime scene can actually stretch to another part. You have to you have to command people to basically go and follow the victims, even the deceased one. You have to call crime lab. You probably, if it's nighttime, you're probably going to get the helicopter or in Baltimore police Foxtrot to do an overhead scan through thermo, UV, and whatever, and just put some lights up. You got to put tape up so people don't ruin the crime scene. And God forbid if it's raining or snowing. God forbid. You have to keep all witnesses separated. You have to figure out how am I going to transport these people to the station to speak to detectives. You're going to need homicide at that point. And then you got to figure out what if my suspect is still here? What if he's barricaded? Then you're going to have to call SWAT. You're going to have to hold ground. You might even have to duck under your damn car, especially if he has a high powered rifle. See how big of a scenario things can change? You could go from a static situation to a fluid one very quickly. Here's the craziest part: a lot of degreed people nowadays are not even working in the fields of their degree. And don't get me wrong, we need people with degrees. Education is very paramount. But I'm going to say the same thing I said for years now in this space about education and the black community. There's three things we don't give a fuck about: black boys, education, and being the heroes of your own narrative. We're looking for someone else to save us. We're like that theme song to Smallville. Somebody save me. And it shows. It shows all the time. Of course, they're getting beat down. You're not a threat. And a lot of people think I'm controversial when I say about female officers. I think the streets have gotten a bit too dangerous for them. There may be some guys and girls who disagree, but I'll tell them these streets are extremely dangerous for them. You're getting again. You're coming, especially with this migrant group that's coming up. You think you're going to intimidate some of these guys who work for cartels? You're not ready for this shit. There's shit coming down the pipe that you don't even want to know about. Okay? Now let's not even take female officers, right? At least they have firearms and training. What about the average woman in America? The average woman in America are going to be lonely, are going to be by themselves, discombobulated, disenfranchised. uncovered, which is a biblical term of protection. And here's the craziness. Your your disrespect of men is going to come back to haunt you. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see women hurt out there in the streets. But you constantly try to carry your life like you're the super dude. What happens after that? What happens when the world doesn't see you as a woman? What if they just see you as a victim? What happens at that moment? You're going to wish like hell you didn't. I'm just a messenger. One of my greatest wishes is for you chicks to get married, for you to be safe, raise proper children. But you know what's not going to happen? What's going to happen is you're going to do the complete and total opposite of what I'm telling you now. That's not smart. God knows that's not smart. But you know what's going to be told to us? Well, not only that, they'll get more aggressive, they'll get more facial hair, they'll start becoming men. This is why so many of them are not found to be attractive. It's not because they're black women, it's because of attitude. Okay. Elvis said they had 50 years of shitting on men. Now the tables are turned. No, screw you. Now it's your turn to feel the pain. Sorry, but not sorry. Maggie said around half of women would rather stay at home. Almost 60% of moms would rather stay home. We women need to be honest about what we actually want. It's okay to have traditional values. That's true, but this is the problem, Maggie. How can you get tradition out of a modern woman who's never been taught tradition? When you've been raised up in single mother ran homes, when you have literally a coven of the grandmother, mother, and daughter in the house with no male leadership, it's kind of hard to get something, it's kind of hard to tap a dry well. It's damn near impossible to get blood from a stone. Damn near. Ladies and gentlemen, back in the day, men were trained and patient enough to deal with the insufferable attitude. The worst thing, and I do mean the absolute worst thing that could happen to modern women, was when men found out, especially black men, when men found out they had choice in the matter. Once men found out they had choice in the matter, all bets went off. No, you don't have to do that. What's hurting women currently is called something called indifference. You want to be equal to men? Okay, we're gonna carry you the same way men carry each other. Hold your own nuts. What happens when men start telling women, hold your own ovaries? Don't ask for special treatment. We're not gonna save you. We're not gonna do all this shit. We're gonna give you the same treatment we would give any man that's equal to us. We're gonna give you the same treatment. what's going to happen is the world's going to get dark. It's going to get real dark. It's not going to be a good place. Give me 1 second, folks. Put this in the microwave for 45 seconds. While you're in there, put them dishes in the dishwasher. I told you not to take them damn trash out, too. I'm back. I think that it's going to be one of those moments where modern women don't understand how apocalyptic shit really is. I really think that's what's going to happen. But keep drinking it. Yeah, drink it, make sure it all goes down.
That's how you had to do it?
Yes. Drink all that shit. Calvin Rogers said the real difference is as men that black women truly need are alone. No, all they have are men they want, not knowing these men don't want them. Well, that's facts. Well, women can be stuck on gynocentric avocado.
Yeah, I got it. It's too strong.
Either that or we'll just exercise and make you sweat it out for the next few hours. When my drill sergeant used to say, don't call God, call somebody you know. That's God.
That's it.
Eating up that phlegm in your chest, isn't it? It's an old remedy.
Where you get this from?
Older men. And this is, especially when you move to the house, you see this shit? That's major no no. That's laziness. Drink the rest of it.
It's hitting my chest.
Supposed to.
I don't know how you do this.
You just drink it down.
We'll
If you
see.
don't break that shit up, that shit can turn, that whatever cold you got can turn into pneumonia. So I would drink that shit up unless you want to be in a hospital bed for a week.
You a soldier.
Well, I was paid to be one for a decade.
I know, but this, I cannot do this.
God busy with female fuckery. Oh yes, he is, man. You know, I would tell a lot of black men to take their savings and invest in weave and hair salons and shit like this and make money off of them. Make money off of their insecurities. You'll feel better.
Like I let me kill the man coach.
Supposed to. It's gonna eat up all that phlegm. I think that I'm gonna put those food cack stock, dog food. You know, what did they have on Bad TV? Lonely expectations. Ah, that's what's up, Maggie. Congratulations on your first live. Make sure everybody make sure you go subscribe to Maggie. You know, she's been BGS in, supported.
I feel like, oh, that's my stomach.
Yeah. Yes, Maggie, drop your link.
Oh,
Let me see.
check my stomach.
Yeah, that's what she said. Try clicking on her show and her name, and it should go to her channel. See if I can find it for you guys. There's the link to Maggie's channel right there. So go support Maggie. You know, be one of the BGS approved. Hold on, people. I am back, folks. I am back. I believe she has a PhD in psychology, I think. I think it's going to be interesting because you have a Caucasian woman who sees the world, and they know that the men out there are not responding to the world the way they want us to. And I think that hurts a lot of women's feelings. And unfortunately for modern women, you're going to have to listen to your men, regardless what you think about them, regardless what categories you want to put them in. There's a link. Anybody want to come up? I feel like talking to y'all monkey asses. Say, but no, it's always a pleasure. Like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal if you feel inclined. I'm really, and I'm not talking from a place of hatred for those who think we are. I'm talking from a place of experience. Who wants to be with a person in any type of relationship where you don't appreciate me for who I am? And if you want men to be the buyers, you're going to have to do something new. There's going to have to be a reckoning. If not, you're going to be at square one. And I don't even think you're going to be at square one. I think it's a fool's gambit at this moment to say that I'm going to make demands when I offer no real product. I'm starting to wonder that. Yep, I know. Sun's out, guns out. Well, sun's out, not out anymore, but you get the point. So yeah, links in the chat if anybody want to join the conversation. If not, I'll end it here. What you doing? She all right?
She was a little quiet in there.
She in her cage?
Yeah. So the kids.
Oh yeah, by the way, don't forget to get yourself some Blue Levitt. You know, got to do my liquor of the day. Blue Levitt and a Java cigar. But yeah, so Dari, long time no see. I think that a lot of times, you know, us as men, we need to make some real distinct demands. And it's not the fact that we're trying to tell the women what to do. We need to hold ourselves accountable. One slip, you simp. One slip, you will simp. Been on the grind. I hear that shit. Get that money. Go get the money. Go get the money. Go get the money. I gotta say, push it, push it, push it. Hmm. Anybody want me to do a short of how to do a good arm routine for the summer blast? Ah. Get your arms right for the summer. Let me know in the comments or the chat. But part of that is actually holding yourself accountable. Part of that is being the man who says, you know what, I gotta be right. I gotta be better. If you go through all this hard work with your studies in college, with your trade school, your profession, your certifications, why accept less? Why accept bad treatment? Tampa Supreme, boy, whoo, long time no see. We
Hey,
get joined by, hold up, I gotta do this, hold up. Joined by AB Media.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
Well, he knocked the shit out of Nomu. What's up, AB Media, ladies and gentlemen? Hands in the air, clap for AB Media.
hey, what's going on, Charles?
What's up? That was giving
Huh.
my take. I didn't even know Maggie followed me, man. I feel honored.
Yeah.
I feel honored. I feel like I made it, man. I made it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
almost at
man.
1.6 now as far as subscribers.
Oh shit! But you been getting numbers during those Saturdays, man. I think that's your grand finale, man.
That's
Big
on top of the
Magnum Carter.
charts.
Your Magnum Carter when you took over. You're the third person to take over the Coliseum Started with BGS, then it was art, and I wouldn't say I never truly took it over. I was just a special guest host when nobody could take it. I would just do it myself.
Yeah, I just stepped out on faith one day, man. I was like, you know what? Let me try it.
Then you did look at the grounds you made. I mean, when you started it, how many subscribers did you have?
I think around 300.
That's a quick turnaround because you didn't even have it for a year yet.
Yeah, I gotta do some more research on the story. Unfortunately, speaking about our women, I heard about another Shanquilla type story
Mm,
in Alabama.
mm. What happened there?
Um, from what I've heard, I can't think of the girl's name, but apparently they set this girl up and they found her on the road, shot in the head.
Mm,
One of the chicks that got arrested, they said she was notorious for setting people up like that. And they, I believe they arrested about three pookies for it too.
mm. So the chick who died was notorious for setting dudes up.
No, one of the chicks that got arrested.
Oh, wow. Living that fast life.
Yeah, but
Mm,
something's got to give. Because the younger generation is not putting up with these so-called modern black women.
they're not. They're not. And I don't blame them. I commend them
Nope.
for actually. I commend young black men for having backbones.
I really have to commend Generation Z because they actually took my approach to the club. They don't go.
Yeah,
I'm like, shout out to these young dudes. They figured it out.
yeah. And when they do go, they go for their fun and nobody else's.
Yep. I'm gonna go to the club anyway. If I'm gonna go somewhere, it's probably gonna be a lounge or something.
Yeah, we're too old to go to clubs. We go to lounges now. We go to lounges, and
Or wait a minute, Charles. I'm really gonna hurt some of their feelings. Or the library. Oops.
oh shit, you nigga, you can read,
Yep.
nigga.
Really hurt their feeling right there. It's like, yeah, the library. But yeah, I think Fannie Willis and Letitia James have done everybody a favor by highlighting what we've been dealing with for years.
Oh yeah, I think that. What's up, D Scott? I think that a lot of people have been checking out Manosphere content,
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking at us like, these niggas ain't lying.
Yeah.
And and what's crazy is that you got people like Fanny.
Mm-hmm.
I always giggle when I say her name, Fanny. She
Oh
got a
yeah.
nice Fanny, such a nice Fanny. She that black girl magic bullshit is on display hard.
Yep. She's a textbook case of what I call the I'm impeded. I don't need no man's. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I'm independent. Okay, do that, do that, do that,
I said,
do
well,
that.
BGS called her. It's like, no, that's just a man in a dress. I'm like, damn.
Oh,
Which is true. Which is mostly true though. You act like a man in a dress.
I got bravado. Oh. You know, chicks like that, you call her broad.
Oh wow.
That's what you call her. You call her broad. Yeah, you can't even get bad with that one. Like,
But
why
yeah,
you call me?
they're making they're making. I'm so in my opinion, they're making the professional sisters look really bad.
I mean, everybody, everybody, everybody doesn't want to be with them.
Yeah, I know that.
They put the thing in there. So uh, nobody wants to be with a trifling bitch. You got a fucked up attitude. You got a fucking. How you got a lace front and the shit doesn't even come to, and it's still stuck in the back?
Ooh.
Her lace front looked like a shag.
That shit.
Yeah, come get these two. Man, if you already started, you gotta
Yeah.
keep
Now
talking.
also, apparently, she put that dress on backwards.
Oh my god, that's how you know she's a man.
I
She
was
she
like, oh,
doesn't have she don't have a she don't have a fucking she don't have a fucking transgender friend, a gay man that can help her.
mm-hmm. Tracy Ellis Ross does. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Well, then again, Tracy Ellis Ross is one step from being one, but
Well,
anyway,
yeah.
I said it. I ain't shit. I
She's
know I
too
ain't
fine as
shit.
hell though. In her
I
younger
know.
days.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time I turn on TikTok, there's some crazy chick. Did you hear about that chick that did like a 50-part series on how she married this dude off of Facebook and he lied to her?
How's that?
Um, well, as Charlemagne called her, I don't quote him on her, but she's a big back chick, but she said she met this dude on Facebook and she married him and found out he lied about most of his life. Said he was a CEO and a whole bunch of other crap, and I was like, okay. And she did a 50 different videos about her experience with this dude.
See, the problem is, AB, a lot of bitches overestimate their worth.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? It constantly kicks them in the fucking ass.
Yep.
And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. I need a man that makes six figures. Never mind the fact I got three different kids by three different baby daddies. I need a
It's
man to make six figures.
you know, I had a question. I had a question given to me earlier today
Mhm.
by a friend of mine. When she tried to say fat girls are the standard of beauty, I said, if that's true, how many Miss Americas are fat?
Standard of what beauty?
Beauty. And
Mm-hmm.
I try to say, I said this to every chick, especially ones who lost the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Did your level of men increase or decrease?
Now hold on, wait a minute, Charles. Don't talk about Jennifer Hudson like that. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Oh, she still got the weight in her head. Oh, shout out to Jennifer Hudson. You know what, AB? Should I go wait about Jennifer Hudson real quick?
Sure. Because if you don't, I will.
I'm gonna go in real deep. That's what she said. Shout out to Jennifer Hudson, and she came from America's Idol, right?
Yeah.
Made it from America's Idol. She was heavy. She was a heavy chick at first, till she lost the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Can't knock that.
No.
But here's when it gets funny. You literally get hooked up with a guy. Shout out to I forget what his real name is, but they called him
Hey,
Tank on the David show. David Otunga, thank you. They called him Tank on that I Love New York show. If you look at David Otunga, he's cut like a bag of pure Colombian dope. No homo. You got to give the man credit. He's in good shape.
Oh yeah, he was a wrestler.
Yeah, from his face, I don't see too many women kicking about the bed.
Nope.
Yep, straight men could actually, give men credit. He would be called universally handsome by most women. Got the muscles, and you know what else he is? He graduated from Harvard Law School.
I was, okay, yeah, I had forgotten that part about him, but yeah.
This tells you why black women are the ultimate losers, man. You gave up a nigga like that, who's like Black Jesus. Well, Jesus is black. He's basically Black Superman. He's literally not even a high value man. And he was a WWE wrestler for some years. He's what you call defined a master of the universe.
Yep.
Like literally, he has the looks, he has the body, he has the money, he has the education. What more can you? He literally outranks her.
Yep.
Yes, she
And she,
got great. No, she. You don't see people trying to. You don't hear about everybody trying to jump in Jennifer Hudson's bed. He outranks her. He can get a better looking woman, younger woman, than she could get a younger man because she knows she would have to pay.
mm,
Shout out to you young niggas. I gotta give you a piece of advice. Young good dick costs. Don't sell your dick for free.
no
Am I
sir,
lying, Cam?
no.
Good dick is hard to come by. I mean, if you got good dick, man, that's just on the stock market.
No, don't do it for free. Make her
Don't
pay.
make
Put
her
the money
pay.
out
If
of
she wants good dick,
it. Mm-hmm.
do my hair, cut my hair, fix my bed. I need money. I need you to shine my shoes. I need something out of you that will be considered a labor of love.
Yep.
I don't simp for free. Put that in the chat for time of memorial. I don't simp for free. You literally gave up, left David Otunga alone, and tried to take him for child support when he was the one who had the child the most. And you tried to do this against a Harvard lawyer.
Ooh. I guess I know how that went. Oof.
And guess who won the custody?
Yeah.
David Otunga. Where's AB? Where's AL Evans, man? I need that Texas talk. That's how you know modern women are not as smart as they think they are.
Mm. Now wait a minute, Charles. Don't talk about Tia Mallory like that.
Oh, you talking about old fish face?
Yep.
Another, I'm gonna start making another series called Another.
You want to hear something funny? I thought it was just acting when she was dumb on that show, but I guess it wasn't an act.
You know why Robert Downey Jr. was so good at playing Tony Stark, right?
Uh-oh.
Because 20 years prior, that was him.
Mm.
When you look at Tia Murray, the other one married a white boy. You think she giving that up? You don't hear nothing from the other twin, do you?
Nope.
Once again, you got a guy who's considered traditionally handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Most women, he can literally be dead broke. Cam, how old are you? 17. You got money in your pocket right now? But how many of them little 17, 18, 19-year-old girls approach you on a daily basis just catching the bus?
A lot.
If you got it, then what?
Got it.
So you telling me her ex-husband, they're divorced, right?
Yep. Officially.
Her ex-husband, who's considered he will be called, what we consider TV handsome, right?
Yep.
Movie star
High
handsome
value
or movie star
TV
pretty.
answers. Yep.
In shape, tall, curly hair. You see, women don't understand this, and this happened to a couple of my exes.
Now remember, Charles, she graduated from
Look like she needs remedial.
she quote remember she quote unquote graduated from him.
But
And
isn't she still
this is not me
single?
being funny. This is what she literally said. She
Yeah.
quote unquote graduated from him.
Sometimes as a man, you start to think that my job is protecting women from their goddamn selves. And you know what's the heavy burden about it is that they can be too stupid to be dumb. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, let me say the original way. They're too dumb to be stupid. Know when you got a good deal and stick with that deal. If I'm wrestling and I mastered the single leg or the double leg, what the fuck am I doing a headlock throw? Wait a minute, you got to the championship round and you going to change what got you there?
Mm.
Now, this happened to some of my educated female exes. When we broke up, you unleashed the beast. Shout out to Dan Severn. All them bitches who saw you with me are now in my DMs.
Well.
The ones who were 10 years younger than you?
Ooh. Uh-oh.
When you paraded your boy around?
That's another funny thing I'm starting to notice. Some of these heifers in their mid to late mid 30s or early 40s are now trying to go around shaming men, talking about y'all don't need to be dating no 20-year-old. I'm like, really?
I would tell her,
Y'all perverted for
nobody.
dating a 20-year-old. Like, excuse me?
I would tell her how many niggas want to date a battle axe? How many? I'll fucking wait. But yet, these are the same bitches who sucking the dick of their fucking students who are teachers.
Oops. Yeah, we have a lot of those for some odd reason. Because every time, almost everybody, like, damn, how many? I'm like, y'all can't go get a real dude. Like, man, I guess not.
Think about it. You should not have a teacher who's 25, 26, 27 years old,
Mm-hmm.
who's not far removed from a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old.
Yeah.
You 25 as a teacher working at a high school, I really think you should not work there.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Them young boys who are 17, 18, they're literally, if you saw them in the mall, they literally can pull you.
Yep.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Trying to see Miss T in the mug. She young. She like 24.
Mm-mm.
She work right out school.
I would not have her in the school.
She like 24.
She too damn young. She basically,
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain something. You're 17, right? She 24. How many years does that separate you to?
7.
Actually, it's about
How
8.
many? About 8. So
Mhm.
subtract 41, about to be 42 from 24. How many years is that? We'll go about 42 since we're there. We're pretty much in March now anyway. So that means
About 17 or 16 years.
I could legitimately be her dad.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
that means,
Go ahead.
huh? So that means she's basically not that far removed from her high school graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching at a high school, and think about it. You think she's gonna say no? And remember, she's within your generation.
Mm-hmm.
So that means she likes pretty much the same shit you like. Attracted to the same type of shit. So that means she gets a guy with dreads or tall, athletically built football, wrestler, basketball player that she always wanted when she was in high school, which was like, what, 5 years removed. You
Hold on.
think, huh?
Wait a minute, Charles. Don't talk about Brittany Winter like that.
Oops. Oops. You telling me 5, 6 years removed. You telling me, especially God forbid, if one of her students is her fucking imprint, she ain't gonna try the hand?
Yes.
And remember, come to my class for 101 coach sessions.
Yeah.
The only difference between a lot of these niggas, I wouldn't say shit till I graduate. Walk across the stage, I fucks Mr. So and so, right? For real.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't get it, Charles, because when I was coming up, most teachers I knew were, at
Old.
least 50 plus and old and married.
They were like married at least 35, 40.
Yeah. They've
Very
been married
rare
for
you
35,
had
40 years. I don't get this new batch of teachers that are all that half of them are single and shit. I'm like, really?
you
That's
can't
strange.
have young single teachers working in a high school. It's just a bad recipe. Like them little niggas are not looking at your lesson. They're trying to fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. I would just tell them like, why can't I work at your school? Because these niggas will fuck the shit out of you. I don't want a scandal for my school, and you're
Hmm.
gonna fall for it. Oh, I'm gonna go to the. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't care what nobody says. They'll fall for it.
Yeah.
They'll fall for it. Each and every goddamn time, they will fall for that shit. Sorry about that, Namer. I didn't see. I wasn't looking at the screen. Um, that's a bad. And Lamer said, let's not forget, it's the moms that have to put a stop to that. A lot of dads would be simping and want to live vicariously through their sons. See, I gotta say, LAPD SWAT, you a
Mm.
champ for that. Do they protect their own warrior culture? No.
No.
Well, Samoans do, but
Oh,
not
continue
us.
what I also mentioned as well. Continue what I just said about the dads.
Oh yeah, I did talk to the Samoans on my unit. They well, you got to remember they protect highly of their warrior culture. You don't talk to a Samoan any type of way
Oh no.
Samoan?
unless
No.
you
Oh no.
unless you prepared to get into a fight. Right then, I don't give a fuck who you around. If you disrespect
Never
the
headbutt a
Samoans,
Samoan.
the Samoans will fucking fight you. There was an
Not just
honorable thing
Samoans.
of
Let's not forget Tongans as well.
Tongans,
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 Fijians.
Fijians,
Maoris from New Zealand. Ooh,
the
because they all
Maoris.
play both
Me.
Cook Islands, Kiribati, all the South Pacific
Oh
Polynesian
yeah,
islands. I don't even know when. But,
by the way, if you go to Maryland K search, right?
hmm
I didn't tell you this, but if you go to Maryland K search, put in
Okay.
put in Ming, aka Haku, King Haku,
Yeah.
real
Oh,
name.
you
You
mentioned
probably
this
could get it
before.
from Wikipedia. You can probably get off of Wikipedia. I didn't tell you this, but go to Maryland K search, put his real name in, and look up the incident in Baltimore. That's all I'm gonna say.
He was probably
Oh,
going,
you got an incident in
oh,
Baltimore?
Yeah.
ah, ah."
Why would you want to mess with a 300-pound solid muscle fucking Tongan or Samoan
Espe-
while he's
Especially
drinking?
if he's been drinking. You know what?
And every
Interesting
Samoan,
you mentioned that.
every hold on for a second, neighbor. Every South Pacific dude I've met in my life were the kindest, gentlest guys. We had a guy who was 400 pounds of muscle, tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker,
Damn.
put your thumbs together real quick. Put your thumbs
hmm
together. That's
Okay.
Tiny's pinky.
Dang.
Shit.
Tiny was about 6'8", close to 400 pounds of muscle. Can run 2 miles, by the way. Passed the PT test.
How tall?
That's almost about 6'7", 6'8", anywhere from 6'6" to 6'8".
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
rugby player. That's a rugby player.
Nicest
Offensive
dude. And
lineman.
Tank, who was a member of my QRF team, he introduced me to
Uh-huh.
Tiny. I shook his hand. It was like holding a baseball pitch, a baseball mitt. Nicest dude ever. If you friends with a Samoan or a Fijian or Tongan,
Mm-hmm.
you got a friend for life. If
Yeah.
somebody steps to you at a bar or club and one of them know you, brother, and they try to be like, you got 5 guys on you, every fucking Samoan is standing the fuck up. You want to talk about honorable people. If they fucks with you, they fucks with you. But if they hate you, you got no worst enemy.
Ooh.
Oh man, you don't want to get on their bad side. I remember
Yeah.
by the way,
Hold on.
Haku is
Wait.
Tongan, and if I may,
Go ahead.
thank you. Even I have to be polite. Sorry, ID. It's interesting because I remember another story of that. It was in one of the shoot interviews. It's the Barbarian because the Barbarian is a Tongan as well. He's Tongan. Him and the Haku Mang they train together. In fact, people check out WCW. You might remember them as the Faces of Fears, but there was a situation where the Barbarian was like in the hotel because he doesn't drink and everything, right? And there was an altercation involving Mang, who had been drinking, and he was just tearing the roof, tearing the place up, and everybody was like, Will, and some of the wrestlers couldn't try to contain him, so somebody had to call Barbie. That's what they call the Barbarian, his nickname. Yo, dude, we need to get help us out, your cousins and some shit. He said, oh shit. So he goes there, and he realizes, and they've had fights before, and he realized, oh, and he knew what to do. The one thing he had to do to calm Mang down, he called his wife.
Yep.
He called the wife, and then he looked at Mang and he said in Tongan, yo, the wife's on the phone. Huh? And he said in Tongan, yo, wife's on the phone. Picks up, hello? And his wife is like, what is this, that, the third? He's like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Because it was the only way to calm him down. And here's to calm him down. Then he had to get to the police, and then at least he had the honesty to bail him out afterwards. So,
Yeah.
yeah, those guys just don't play around like that. But
I got another
like
story.
I said earlier, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I got
Go
another
ahead.
story. Now this one's from. I'll give you a hint. Mark Calloway. This one's actually from Mark
Taker.
Calloway. He was in the ring with Yokozuna. For those you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
Yokozuna is not Japanese. He's Samoan. And
Remember the Hanawai family.
they were somewhere in California. They're in some arena where there are a lot of Samoans, and
Mm-hmm.
they were cheering Yokozuna to chop the Undertaker, potato the Undertaker for real with his hits and stuff. So Undertaker is because Undertaker can move for a big dude, and Undertaker is moving out of ring too fast for Yokozuna, and Yokozuna's telling him, Marcus, slow down, Marcus. So when Yokozuna goes for the banzai drop,
Uh-huh.
there's two versions of it. There's a version where he lands where he's not on you. Then there's the version where he's sitting on you for real. He
Where
banzai
he
drop.
instead
He's
of
not
catching
on him
his
for
feet,
real. Undertaker's like, yo, get off me. He's like, you done
and
yet?
You get that was a receipt. That was a receipt, by the way.
it's called
A
a
little
receipt.
side note.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
receipt. Yeah.
By the way, a little
And
side
You
note.
Bruce
done yet?
Almighty. Shout out to my man Bruce Almighty. We gotta do this for my man Bruce, the enforcer. Boom!
Bam!
Oh,
Oh,
he got the best DDT ever. Look at this shit. Look how smooth this DDT is.
yeah, yeah. But let's not
Dang.
forget Arn Anderson. I understand, but for real, truth be told, when I think
Hit it
of
with the
Arn
feet.
Anderson, it's not the
No.
DDT. When I think of Arn Anderson, I don't think of the DDT. You know what I think of?
Spine buster.
The spine
I
buster.
mean,
That
he
was
has
his
a
thing.
beautiful spine buster, but I
Hmm.
give that's you ever see those signs where you see the guy sitting at an outside table who says
Hmm.
make me change my mind? Or you see the one
Uh-huh.
with the guy, I forget the Pixar movie
Oh,
where
you
the
mean
two
Steven
pull the
Crowder
swords
make me
on
see
him.
different, make me change my mind with some bullshit? I
Change
know.
up like
I
that.
get you.
I got opinions that'll make people pull swords out on me. Arn
Mm-hmm.
Anderson got a better DDT than Jake the Snake.
Mm.
That video proves it. He's smooth as shit with it. Go look at
He's
the one
smooth
he
with
hits
it,
Ric
but
Flair with. Look at the one he hits Ric Flair with. And that was a beautiful ass DDT. Boom!
That's his finisher.
that was a good
Whatever.
match. By the way, that was a good match they
Spine
had.
buster
Remember that
or the
pay per view?
DDT. Or sometimes he'll do the
Spine
spine buster, wait for you to get up. DDT.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Ah!
Who is that?
And a
Arn
southpaw
Anderson.
too. He was
Original
left-handed.
Four Horsemen
Left-handed.
with Ric Flair.
Oh, by
Yeah,
the
I
way,
like, I
Anyway,
like
R.I.P. to Ole
and Tony,
Anderson.
I think
What a for
Ole Anderson just passed.
Yeah, he passed away.
yeah,
Also last night, Virgil passed away.
Oh
Virgil
man,
passed
not
away.
Virgil, and I met Virgil a couple of times too. Shout out to
Virgil
Virgil.
had had a couple of strokes. Virgil had a
And I
couple of
can't
strokes
say
recently.
I will say shout out to Virgil, but I can't say shout out to Ole because he was a notorious racist.
Oh,
Oh man,
I mean, during this
there was
period.
yeah, there was a show that had by WWE. It was like a roundtable segment, and
I
one
didn't know
episode they
that
were
about
talking
Ole
about.
Anderson, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
there's a
was a
story I can tell you
notorious
about
racist.
that. There's a story I can tell you about that. A couple stories. And there was this, they had a round table like they have with like five guys smoking cigars, shooting shit, talking about a certain thing in wrestling history. And they were talking about wrestling, so about blacks, about some of the African Americans and black men who contributed to wrestling, right? Teddy Long was among the panel. The other person was Tony Atlas. Teddy Long talked about one time when he was refereeing the match, right? And he was going to break up Ole Anderson. He puts his hand in Ole. Ole looks at him and says, "Get your hands off me," and shit like that, right? And then, excuse me, immediately Atlas looked at him and said, "Ole will call you a nigga in a heartbeat." And hell yeah, he would call you a nigga in a heartbeat. Is what Long responded. He said, in fact, I remember one situation where one of them explained that another situation was they came into a locker room and there was Ole Anderson and Thunderbolt Patterson. Now everybody knows Thunderbolt Patterson how he be sometimes. He was real slimy at times. And Ole just looked at I think it was Tony Atlas and looked at Patterson and said, "You know what? You know what the problem with this card is Patterson? What? It's too many N words up in here." And Patterson, being a bit of a bootleg, was like, yeah, I guess I know what you mean. Too many N words up in here. Ole was a fucking racist. I mean, there were some people that were straight up racist in this business.
Yeah, I believe it.
Hell, you'd be surprised how many promoters were racist as well.
No, I wouldn't. It is what it is.
Uh, it is what the fuck it is. Man, that shit was wild. Hey, man, can Bruce come up here one time? Just one time. It's been a while since I heard from the man. You know?
Yeah, you heard about that horror story from about that black chick that was wrestling for Moolah.
No, I haven't. Which one we talking about?
I forget her name, but she was wrestling with she was a female wrestler with Moolah back in the day, and
Uh,
mm, she was pretty much a slave
Definitely
to the
wasn't
community.
Sapphire. Man, you've heard horror stories like that. You know, and Moolah's dead and gone, so
Yeah.
not here to defend himself on that.
Well, I didn't even
I
hear
mean,
about these stories till much later after she passed. It's like 10 or 15 years after she passed.
yeah. I mean, I don't remember Wendy Richards saying some shit like this, which is not. But I'm sure it was pretty messed up at times. But speaking of racism, here's a thought. Here's a thought. And I've mentioned this many times. Like, first of all, I'm glad that the Honky Tonk Man got his due and was inducted in the Hall of Fame. But here's one person I think should have been inducted a long time ago. We always talk about great wrestlers, but no one talks about great managers. When are we going to see Slick inducted in the Hall of Fame?
I thought that's what I thought you were talking about. Slick Rick.
No, Slick, the Doctor
Slick,
Style, the
I'm sorry, I'm
Slickster.
sorry, Slick.
Yeah, Slick, or Reverend Slick, aka Kenneth Johnson. When will we
Mm,
see that man, the first black manager in WWE history, be inducted in the Hall of Fame?
Call up Paul. You might get your wish.
I mean, are people still foul? I mean, then again, knowing Vince, who was really foul about lawsuits and shit. I'm like, yo, some of these guys had concussions and whatnot under your while under contract with you. Others, I don't know. I mean, certain class action suits were filed and dismissed. Can't hold a
Hmm.
grudge after that. So I mean, oh, speaking of black dude, here's one man that the Undertaker never wanted to wrestle,
Oh, Big Daddy V, Viscera.
aka Viscera, aka Mabel. Because when he was with King Mabel, what did he do? With a leg drop, he broke his orbital bone. As you might
Yep.
remember, in late 1995, beginning of 1996, he had to wear a protective
That
mask over his
specialized
face.
mask.
But then again, he got his receipt with the casket match, but he never wanted to wrestle him again.
Yeah. He put him in his own faction so he wouldn't have to wrestle him.
Big Vis. He went from Mabel to Viscera at the Royal Rumble. Not just that, he also took a Midian. Because remember, they were a tag team for a while.
Hmm.
Viscera.
Yeah, they actually had Viscera in a love affair with Lillian Garcia for a minute. I was like, really?
The world's biggest love machine. He
Yeah.
still, and he was available, and you can play as him in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, which was the first game on Xbox 360. First WWE game on Xbox 360. First WWE game on Xbox 360 to have achievements as well.
Yeah, the first
I mean,
Xbox wrestling game that didn't suck.
Xbox 360, Xbox. I mean, that's because first of all, it was THQ, right? But the thing was, it was a different developer. It wasn't Ukes. Ukes, they
To
handled
this day,
PS
THQ still made some of the best wrestling games of all time.
Yeah.
WCW versus the
and
World.
and you and USC games. Let's not forget that. Ukes with THQ together, they did some of the best work together. From I mean, people might forget their first game to get Ukes and THQ for WWE. The first game was WrestleMania 2000 on N64. That was in '99.
That wasn't Ukes. That was another company.
No, that was THQ. No, THQ. Ukes was the developer.
Oh yeah, THQ. Yeah,
Oh no, you're right. It was Aki. Sorry, it was Aki. It was Aki on that one. Sorry,
yeah.
it was Aki. My
No,
bad.
THQ was the developer though.
THQ was the
It's actually
publisher. The developer, the engine developer was Aki. Actually, it was on the Aki engine.
yeah.
On the N64 it was Aki, but on the PlayStation it was Ukes. And then when they went out to wait a minute, I thought we were just here to talk about black women, dump on women and shit. Dun dun dun.
Oh well.
Anyway,
Developer.
but like I said, like THQ and Ukes together, they were doing, when it
Oh yeah,
came to
I had the first two Smack. I had the first 4 or 5 SmackDown games.
on PlayStation 2,
Huh? Yeah.
on PlayStation 2, right? Yeah. On PlayStation 2. That's there's 5 of them. SmackDown is like first 2 SmackDown 2 no roll on PlayStation 1, then Just Bring It, Shut Your Mouth, Here Comes the Pain on PS2. They
Yeah.
were
Here Comes
classics.
the Pain is the closest
Unfortunately,
thing I've ever seen to match No
Here Comes
Mercy.
the Pain is probably like Here Comes the Pain, WrestleMania 2000,
Hmm.
and
WCW
N64.
versus WCW versus the World, and Fire Pro Wrestling. Some of the best wrestling games of all time.
Yes.
If you would have
Hey,
had the
don't forget
move set,
WWF No
the
Mercy.
move, No Mercy was cool. I mean, if you would have had the graphics of today with Fire Pro Wrestling move set and cast,
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
oh, that'd be the greatest wrestling. Because you gotta remember, there's shit that I will watch from New Japan Pro Wrestling from the man Antonio Inoki versus Ric Flair. You have Kazuki Kisaki versus Sting, Great Buddha versus Sting, Great Buddha versus Arn Anderson. Great, like I told people on my Facebook, two of the greatest Japanese pro wrestlers to ever come to the United States. Number one, the Great Muta, because he revolutionized the sport. And number two, underneath him, almost 1A, Jushin Thunder Liger. Jushin
Oh
Thunder
yeah.
Liger versus Brian Pillman is a classic.
Mm. God rest his
That
I
is
soul.
remember.
that's
Do you
slow.
remember? Speaking of that, do you remember like WCW had a tag team tournament on one of their Clash of Champions pay per views?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember the
And
King of
in that
Cable
match,
match. Because,
but
go
the
ahead.
one match I remember, in that was in that tag tournament was in the first round. It was on one team. It was Flying Brian Pillman and Jushin Thunder Liger. On the other end, it was a guy named Beef Wellington and Chris Benoit.
Oh, yeah, that
So
was a
you had
classic.
guys. So you had guys. It was a tag match, and
Oh, you got a lot of
Liger.
classics.
Hmm.
I also remember also in that match you also had Michael P.S. Hayes, which is Pearly Sexy Hayes, and Jimmy Jam Garvin, the Freebirds, taking on two guys who were the Los Ratares or the Silver Kings. That was Lucha Lee. That was the first time you saw luchadors going against American wrestlers. There's some international flavor in that one. But one of the biggest upsets in that tournament was when Terry Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams defeated Rick and Scott Steiner. I still remember that pay per view. Thank God I got the WWE Network. I gotta watch that shit. But yeah, it's amazing what you can remember.
I remember I remember
Charles,
yep.
Hmm.
did you just like phase out,
No.
space out or something? You're like, I remember.
I remember
Okay.
I remember one of my favorite tag teams in the 90s,
Okay.
believe it or not.
Hmm.
You had Ice Train with Scott Flash Norton, Fire and Ice. Very, very.
That that was a good team.
You usually don't have two power guys who mesh so well, but
Mm-hmm.
man, they complemented each other so beautifully. Flat people don't give Scott Norton a lot of credit for being a good pro wrestler. So does Ice Train. Very athletic big men. I remember
Hmm.
when Scott Norton was a member of the NWO and he was the IG, what was the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in New Japan at the same time.
Correct.
Mm.
And
God Flash
he had,
Norton.
they were Fire and Ice was the shit. And
Fine. I remember that team. You remember Two Cold Scorpio and Buff and Brian and Marcus Alexander Bagwell
oh yeah,
when they were
that
the
was a
tag team?
beautiful thing. Two Cold Scorpio need to be in a couple of Hall of Fames, man, because he
God
revolutionized pro
damn it.
wrestling. They need to
It
give
was fucked
Two
up when
Cold
they had him as Flash Punk.
Two Cold Scorpio. You could have built a company over. He was literally like a cheat code of a wrestling game, man. Like some of the shit he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
First man you see to do the 450 splash on
And
US
he's not a
TV.
small guy.
No.
About a good 245 doing fucking front kicks, flip. Like, god damn, Two Cold Scorpio was legendary.
Mm-hmm.
He was not
Two
playing
Cold,
around, man. That dude, he
Two
was.
Cold.
You see him now, he's still buff. He's still in great shape. Still impressive.
I tell you who I'm shocked is still bumping is Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, Dustin. Dustin had a good career, man.
Mm-hmm. AKA Gold Dust.
Yeah. 6'6", 260. Not to mention, he's turned his life around because, like, thanks to DDP yoga and such and Pilates. But let's not forget, he also came back from double knee surgery.
On my Facebook friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, double knee surgery he had to go. He had to go through. He changed his life around. I mean,
You can talk to.
he's now a
Good.
grandfather. His daughter, Greg Dakota, has a daughter, has a job, and he's turned his life around. Even after divorce with Terry and moving on, had a better relationship, found love. Um, but who else? Who else would be in the Hall of Fame? I think. For some of the great tag teams I can think of. Steiners were great. Thankfully, they've been inducted in the Hall of Fame. Um,
Um, I'll give you somebody that should be in the Hall of Fame. Bobby Roode. Okay.
his career's not over, is it?
Who's that?
Bobby Roode.
I think it is. I think he retired. What happened to him? Did he get sick or something or injured?
He had like a neck surgery or something. He's
Yeah,
been out of action.
depending on that
But
surgery, he might be right.
he's one of the few things I could watch in TNA. He's a
Yeah.
good heel.
I mean, TNA was good at some point.
Yeah, Samoa Joe most
Samoa
definitely.
Joe. There was classics between Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniel. Yeah,
Yeah.
three-way dance is like a classic. Um, when Samoa Joe got there, that's when not saying they didn't have good guys then, but the X division kind of like was the bread and butter of fucking TNA,
Yeah.
in my humble opinion. But how do you let a guy like AJ Styles go? But when AJ Styles went over to be in New Japan, that's when everybody really took notice.
Hmm. Good
There
question.
was
How do
a
you let a guy like AJ Styles go?
How do you let a guy like Bret Hart go?
Oh well.
I mean, I enjoyed his
Here's my
matches.
thing with the screw job, the infamous screw job. Um, I see both sides.
Hmm.
Seriously, I see both sides.
I can't let my. I understand
Mhm.
you can't let your champion go with the belt. Why? You saw that shit almost a decade earlier with Flair.
Well, not only that, you got to remember
You're
Medusa.
literally at war,
Hmm. You got to
and
remember,
you
remember Medusa dropping the women's
the
championship
belt in the trash.
in the trash.
Yep,
So I understand where Vince was coming from. Yeah, you can't let him leave with that title.
can't let him leave with it. And this lets you know the difference between Eric Bischoff and Vince
Hmm.
McMahon.
And just a side note. Later on, Eric Bischoff said that he wouldn't made him drop the title anyway because he was already in enough trouble with the management at the time. He
Yeah,
wouldn't have let that fly. But go ahead.
yeah, because it would have been a major lawsuit,
Yeah,
and they couldn't afford that. And I mean, even though if I would have got Bret Hart after the screw job, first and foremost, I'd have read that. I'd have ran with that shit.
yeah,
That's the difference between Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff. And you had to start. You had to be on a different clientele because the NWO is still the greatest storyline of all time.
oh yeah. When Hogan did that leg drop, it changed
Changed the
everything.
game. Changed the game. And I mean, I remember when my godsons and my son and even their uncle tried to tell me who should be on the Mount Rushmore. It's always going to be Hogan number one. If
Yeah,
it's
I
not
remember the
Hogan,
dudes talking
if
about, oh, Hogan wasn't that good, blah 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 blah
go
blah.
watch Hogan in Japan.
Yeah,
Go watch Hogan wrestle in Japan. Wrestles a totally different style. And we got robbed of Bret Hart versus Hogan because that could have been a technical masterpiece if they would have let him wrestle the same way he wrestled in Japan because Bret's a technical wrestler, even if Hogan loses.
yeah.
Here's another thing I think that was a big mistake. Why didn't you have Hogan versus Flair for WrestleMania for the title? That just sells itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it does.
I mean, we still got a good match with Randy Savage and Flair, but
Yeah, Undertaker talks about how he was happy to be working with Bret Hart because he can actually show people he can actually wrestle.
yeah, yeah. And it was like, you look at a guy like Taker, 6'10", 320 pounds.
Right.
Pick the 6'10".
Yeah, he was a basketball player. See, this is the bad part about like combat sports, boxing, and this is how you know America gets soft. A lot of our athletes who would be dominate combat sports go to football or go to basketball. Think about it. You
Mhm.
got a wingspan that's like 7, 8 feet, and you throw a jab. Good God, you can't get into that motherfucker. Or a front kick. Look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar versus Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
The
Just look
basketball.
at his legs compared to
Look
Bruce
at
Lee. You're like, damn.
He was one of Bruce Lee's students.
um,
He was one of his students, and he put him in a movie. And you see a guy who's what Kareem's like what 7'3", 7'4",
Yeah.
really tough.
and you got to think about it. You give a guy martial arts abilities. A lot of people forget that he was one of Bruce's first students, and you get a guy moves with that type of reach and that type of body. He's got like a fucking he's got like a fucking 14-foot fucking defense. Why do you think John Jones is so good? He's got wingspan. He can wrestle. He can strike.
Yeah.
He can submit you. I mean, it's very hard to get. And then when you're so lanky, unless you're a monster wrestler, it's hard. When Daniel Cormier had trouble taking him down, I don't think Daniel ever took him down.
He did.
And no, he jumped into his guard. When an Olympic level wrestler can't take you down, that says something about your wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
I mean, even though people talk about Khabib should be the goat, Khabib can't be the GOAT. You got Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse cleaned out a division 3 times. And Mighty Mouse actually went over to fucking One FC, beat their champion. And he's the reigning champion over there. He's still the GOAT. You still got Silva. You still got GSP. Fedor. God damn. For 10 fucking years, you were the number one heavyweight in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like no heavyweight. You literally beat 5 to 7 fucking UFC champions. They, I mean, who what champions did he beat? He beat Nogueira. He beat Coleman. He beat Rampage Jackson. He beat Andre Arlovsky. He beat Jesus, he beat a lot of people. I mean, for 10 years nobody could beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And people forget, like they say Fedor's quick. And even Cal Sutton, I love his interviews. He said, I thought he was quick for a heavyweight. They're like, no, he's quick. He said he hit me with a two piece. I didn't even see it. It was like, bah, you don't even see the shit. God, I would have loved facing a nigga like that. That's the competitor in me.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It'd be an honor to face him, though. It'd be an honor to face him. But you can't be on
He
the
faced
board.
Krokop.
Yeah, he
He
beat
faced
Krokop.
Krokop. He beat Krokop. Krokop with that, who was
He
known for
actually
his
outkicked. He
that
actually
head kick.
outkicked. He outkickboxed a K1 level kickboxer,
Damn.
kickboxing champion. He actually
Yeah, but let's not forget Fedor had Fedor is like, first of all, Sonnen. What's that? First of all, Sonnen. We talked about his speed and everything. Sonnen has to admit this guy's wrestling was ridiculous. Because remember, Fedor holds the rank of master of sports
for
in
Sambo.
Sambo. Habib, he has
Yeah.
the same thing. He has a black belt in judo. Also, he's also a master of sports in both Sambo, judo, and wrestling. And they've been down in the Caucasus. Everybody there, they wrestle. That's the first sport you go into. Your parents put you in is wrestling. You learn to wrestle from a young age. But everybody else, a lot of them picked up sambo, especially like Andre Larky. He picked up sambo during his days when he was learning when he was in the police academy in Belarus.
Yeah. It's like, it's kind of funny when you wrestle. People always want to challenge you. And even in basic training, people wanted
Terrence
to wrestle
Crawford
you.
can wrestle.
And it was like, oh, people were like, oh, I thought they said you were good. So they realized they wrestled me. They're like, oh, he is good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, just like boxing, you get guys who are really good boxers. Oh, this nigga can't fight. Why are you fighting the guy who can pretty much look at your punches and they're in slow motion to him? Even on the street as a cop, guys would swing at me and it would be like this to me. You just weave back, you see the punch go right there. Clow. Hit him with a right hand down the pipe. Oh,
Not
there's a
to
difference
mention, a
between.
lot of them are brawlers. They don't understand like range. They just want to lash out. They're just running on pure emotion. They don't have technique. I mean, you might have had a
It's
couple
like
scraps, but
it's like it's like fighting. Imagine fighting like Boss Rutan in his prime.
oh, El Guapo, man, he would have hurt you bad. I mean,
He
especially
would
with
have
that
hurt you
liver
bad.
shot.
He would have gave you a liver shot. He would have gave you. They even tested him on fight science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Him. Who else? A couple other guys. I think Dean Lister was among them. Who they've
Dean
also.
Lister. I actually met Dean Lister when I was going through my NRA training.
I watched the video of Dean Lister's of how to drain a cauliflower ear, and I'm like, oh, this was something very insightful.
I actually met Dean Lister, shook hands with him when he was giving it, because they had a jiu-jitsu class where I did my training classes for firearms instructor,
Mm.
Uh huh.
and I met him. And it was like cool as shit. And then that guy, shush, that
Whose dog
guy,
is that?
that's Robert's dog, Bambi. Why do you call a pit bull Bambi? I
Allen.
don't.
Shut that dog up. Shut that dog up. That dog talking too much.
I know who Bambi is. And
Hey,
it
what
was
you
like
saying?
Dean Lister. Dean Lister would be probably one of the scariest people just to spar with because he's so good with leg locks. And it's one thing when somebody twists up your arms, you can take it,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but you don't know how vulnerable. Even though leg locks are a much bigger gamble because if you don't hit it right,
Mm-hmm.
but when you get your leg locks can be so quick that snack crackle pop, you don't even realize your leg's broken.
Oh man, those things hurt. I remember watching like what was it like MMA fight lower tier in Brazil, right?
Damn.
And that one,
Yo.
it was an MMA fight in Brazil, right? And one cat, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. In this fight, excuse me, the guy on the bottom, it was like basically they were on the ground. One of them had it. One person was like one of them had the other in his guard on the ground. And when the guy on top tried to switch the side control, he wrapped his legs in such a way, and he wrapped his legs on the inside leg and tried to hook it in such a way that he ended up causing the guy on top to scream and give a verbal submission. Not exactly. I was looking at trying to see, well, how did you do that? That was kind of scary. Thinking, I remember also watching was it Bellator before they got bought by PFL. A woman had it was women's MMA, and one woman had they were on the ground. The one on the bottom had her opponent in her guard, right? She had her, and then like they were chest to chest. Immediately, I don't know how she was able to do it. She just like clenched. She just like had her hand. She raised her knees up to extend, lifted up, just picked her feet up in the air. She wrapped her arm. She had a grip around of her arms behind her knees, and she just pulled. And apparently, it's called the scorpion lock. The scorpion lock. What she did was like, she threw her, while in her guard, she had her knees up, her feet in the air, grabbed, reached behind her opponent, and with her knees as support, clenched her hands and just gave this type of bear hug, which they call the scorpion lock. It's amazing how dangerous some people are when they're on the bottom, how you can fight off their back. One person who knew how to fight off their back was, the master of fighting off his back was Frank Mir.
Especially being as big as he is.
Oh, do you remember that ankle hook? Remember that heel hook he got on Lesnar?
Yeah, that was a heel hook
Remember
D-bar combo.
the
Or
way
he
he was
had
able to take down Lesnar in that one? Because remember, Lesnar tried to stack him up, right? Try to stack him. He just spinned a certain way. Next thing you know, he got Lesnar in the heel hook, and all
Yep.
Lesnar could do was tap.
All right. I
The
gotta end this
setup
quick
was,
because I gotta get ready for work. I might start another one tonight.
and no
But
biggie,
till
just
now,
have your, just,
whew, we are out.
ooh, yeah.